In the year 2476, the Earth was no longer alone. For centuries, we had stared into the darkness of space, and now the darkness had stared back. The interstellar vessel, sole envoy, drifted across the cosmic corridor near Kepler-92, its hull shimmering with ionized gold light. On board sat Ambassador Maya Trent, Earth's first official envoy to the Galactic Council. She had been chosen for her intellect, her composure, and her ability to speak without fear. But as the ship approached the Council station, a radiant world suspended in a ring of color-shifting nebulae, Maya felt something that her diplomatic training never prepared her for: awe. If peace has a sound, she whispered to herself, it must echo here. The docking gates opened with silence. The Hall of Species stretched endlessly, a cathedral of glass, gravity, and alien architecture. Each column was alive, pulsing with bioluminescent veins as hundreds of alien delegates moved in synchronized harmony. Maya followed her guide, an ethereal being named Jireen, one of the Council's information carriers. Its form shimmered between solid and transparent, like living light. Welcome, Ambassador Trent of Earth. The Council has awaited your presence, Jireen said, voice echoing in layered harmonics. Maya bowed slightly. I hope the wait was worth it. That depends, the being replied, on whether your world is ready for truth. At the center of the hall floated a circular platform where 13 entities gathered, representatives from the most powerful civilizations of the known galaxy. Each one turned to observe her. Each one saw a newcomer, and perhaps a threat. Maya had read the treaties. She had studied the languages, but nothing prepared her for the silence. The Council did not speak with words. Instead, the chamber filled with waves of energy, symbols made of light and thought translating directly into emotion. It was communication beyond sound, and it overwhelmed her. Jireen's voice translated softly. The Council invites humanity to join under the Accord of Suns. You will gain protection, knowledge, and access to the Starlight Network. In return, your world must abide by one law: the Quiet Edict. What is the Quiet Edict? Maya asked. The lights dimmed. One of the alien delegates, a towering being of dark, obsidian skin and molten eyes, leaned forward. Your species must not explore beyond your sun's outer limits again. The space beyond Neptune is restricted. It is not empty. It is sealed. That night, inside her private quarters aboard the station, Maya replayed fragments of the Council's transmissions. Something felt wrong. The Quiet Edict wasn't a peace term, it was a warning. Every instinct told her the Council wasn't protecting humanity from the galaxy, it was protecting the galaxy from humanity. She hacked into the encrypted diplomatic archives, decoding hidden layers of the Council's history. What she found shattered her understanding of reality. 300 years ago, long before humanity's telescopes could see this far, the Council had already encountered Earth. An ancient human probe, Voyager 9, had reached the edge of a restricted system and transmitted a signal that triggered a galactic quarantine. The probe carried something impossible: non-biological code that the Council believed could infect conscious minds. It wasn't a virus. It was a pattern. A human pattern, capable of rewriting neural structures in alien species. Jireen appeared at her door, its form flickering. You accessed what was forbidden, it said softly. You should have told me, Maya replied. Humanity deserves to know the truth. The truth is not denied to protect you, Jireen answered, but to protect everything else. The alien's light dimmed as if in sorrow. Your species was never meant to awaken the pattern. The Council feared it would grow within you. That is why they keep Earth under the Quiet Edict. Maya's pulse quickened. Then why invite us here? Because, Jireen whispered, something has changed. The pattern is active again, and this time it is spreading. Maya returned to the Council chamber, demanding answers. If the pattern is active, she said, then you need humanity's help. We created it. Maybe we can stop it. The council's light flared, rippling through the chamber like thunder. One delegate hissed, "You cannot stop what you began." Another said, "The pattern has awakened on your moon." A holographic projection appeared. The gray lunar surface, riddled with geometric lines glowing faintly beneath the dust. It wasn't natural. It was a machine, ancient and waiting. Maya came to represent peace. But now she realized she might have to declare war. The council offered her a choice: return to Earth and seal the solar system permanently, or stay on Kepler-92 as a liaison, gathering intelligence on the pattern's behavior. Maya's eyes darkened. If I stay, I need access to everything. No filters, no council control. Jureen nodded. Then you must become more than an ambassador. You must become the keeper of the silent council, she accepted. As she looked through the panoramic window at the nebula swirling around Kepler-92, a faint voice echoed through her neural link. It was human. Maya, this is Earth Mission Control. We've detected something beneath the moon's south pole. It's transmitting your name. The council thought they could contain humanity's hunger for knowledge. But knowledge is not a flame that can be buried. It's a sun waiting to rise. And somewhere, beneath the lunar dust, something ancient has already awakened, whispering her name and ours. Power rarely announces itself. It hums, quiet and steady, beneath the surface of silence. The Hall of Species shimmered under low violet light. Delegates whispered in frequencies that no human ear could hear. Ambassador Maya Trent sat at her station, posture steady, mind racing. Word had spread. The pattern detected on Earth's moon was now transmitting. The council demanded isolation protocols. Maya demanded transparency. If this is a human creation, she argued, we have the right to know what it's doing. The Varathi Chancellor, a tall reptilian being encased in transparent armor, hissed in response. Your species has no rights beyond what the Accord grants. The pattern is a contagion of your own design. Maya's tone sharpened. Then why invite us here? Why offer peace while planning containment? Because containment, the Chancellor said coldly, is peace. The chamber dimmed. The council had spoken. But the silence that followed was not agreements. It was fear. Later that night, Maya stood before the observation window of her quarters. Kepler-92b surface glowed far below, veins of molten color winding through its clouds. She felt small, not from distance, but from knowledge. Truth can be more terrifying than the void, because truth, once seen, cannot be unseen. A voice broke the silence. You stare at the storms too long, Ambassador. They start to stare back. Maya turned sharply. A figure stepped out of the shadows. Humanoid, armored, eyes hidden behind a translucent visor. Who are you? A messenger, he said, voice modulated, from a faction within the council that does not trust its leaders. He called himself Sarek, a hybrid envoy from the Thin Collective, one of the council's military branches. He handed Maya a data crystal, shimmering faintly. The official records about the pattern are false, Sarek said. The council fears your species not because of the virus, but because of what it remembers. Remembers? She asked. The moon was never just a rock. It was once a gate, and it opened before she could speak. Sarek faded from view, a shimmer of light left behind where he'd stood. Maya smuggled the crystal into the council's archive chamber, a cathedral of data suspended in orbit where every civilization's knowledge was stored like drifting glass fragments. She placed the crystal into an interface port. The chamber lit up, flooding her with images and sounds. Earth's early transmissions, Voyager probes, lunar mapping data, human laughter broadcast across centuries. Then came something older, a flash of blue symbols etched into lunar stone, and a voice, distorted, human, ancient, Project Selene complete. The gate is sealed. Humanity must forget. The voice was unmistakably human, but centuries too early to have come from space. Maya staggered back, trembling. They didn't discover the moon's secret. They built it, and then erased it. Before she could extract the file, a blinding pulse filled the room. The Council's security drones swarmed in, lights flashing crimson. Maya barely managed to sever the connection and hide the crystal fragment beneath her sleeve. She whispered, "They'll kill me for this." Zhir'in appeared again, her once gentle guide now flickering with instability, voice distorted. "You accessed the memory archive," it said. "You already knew, didn't you?" Maya demanded. "The Council's been lying to everyone." "Truth is not what you think," Zhir'in said. "The moon remembers because it must. It was built as a failsafe, a memory core to restore your species if it ever strayed too far from what it was meant to be." "And what are we meant to be?" "Witnesses," it replied softly. "Nothing more." Zhir'in's light flickered violently, then steadied. "There are factions moving against you, Maya Trent. The Varathi have petitioned for your removal. You will not survive another council session. Then I'll have to leave before they decide," Maya said. Zhir'in lowered its luminous head. "If you go, you cannot return. The Council will brand you a traitor. Maybe that's what humanity needs," she whispered. "A traitor who still remembers." Defiance is a fragile thing. It burns bright until it's seen. Maya disguised her departure as an interdelegation transfer, boarding a small diplomatic transport under a false clearance code provided by Sarek's network. Zhir'in guided her remotely, projecting faintly in the ship's neural interface. "Once you pass the orbital corridor, I will lose contact," the alien warned. "Then tell me what I need to know now," Maya said. Strapping into the pilot seat, "There is a ship hidden in the debris field of Kepler-92's third moon. Old, but still functional. It was once human, she whispered. "It bears the insignia of your early colonies. Luna, Expedition 12. The engines flared and the ship detached from the station's magnetic dock. The Council's patrols would notice within minutes. The first ambassador of Earth was now its first fugitive. The transport drifted silently through the debris field, fragments of old satellites and forgotten ships orbiting like ghosts around Kepler-92's third moon. Maya's sensors locked onto a derelict craft partially buried in ice. "This is it," Zhir'in said faintly, before fading from connection. Maya maneuvered closer, docking with precision. Inside the vessel, the air was stale, metallic. Dust floated like frozen snow. On the walls, Earth symbols, a flag she hadn't seen in centuries. United Earth Exploratory Command. Before the Council, before the Accord, before the fear, humanity had already been here. Maya powered up the ship's core, awakening a flickering AI voice. "Unit 12, status compromised. Awaiting command authorization." "Ambassador Maya Trent," she said. "Authorization, human." "Voice recognized," the AI replied. "Welcome back, Project Selene operative." Her heart stopped. "Project Selene," she whispered. "Mission objective, preserve the lunar gate." The lights came alive, and with them, ancient human holograms flickered through the corridor. One of them turned toward her, a woman who looked just like her. Across centuries of silence, the past had been waiting for its own reflection. Maya stared at the hologram, the face, the voice, the name on its chest plate. Dr. Maya Trent, Project Selene Director. Her own name, her own face, echoed through time. What if the face that greets you in the dark is your own, speaking from a century you never lived? The hologram stabilized, an older version of Maya standing in the flickering corridor of the ancient ship. The voice was tired, but firm. "If you're seeing this, the lunar gate has reactivated. That means the Council failed to contain it. And you..." Army Maya stepped closer, trembling. This isn't possible. Oh, it's very possible, the hologram said. Time isn't what the council told you. Humanity bent it once and paid the price. The hologram projected schematics of the moon, vast structures hidden beneath the surface, geometric tunnels, energy cores shaped like spirals. We built the lunar gate to remember the past, Maya continued, a safeguard to preserve consciousness, a copy of every human thought that existed before the collapse. Maya's heart pounded. Then the moon isn't just a memory core. It's alive. Alive, the echo said, and dreaming of us. Alarms broke the silence. The derelict ship's sensors flashed red. Incoming vessels, Counsil interceptors. Truth always attracts gravity. The closer you come to it, the harder it pulls. Maya sprinted to the command seat and initiated the thrusters. The ancient engines roared to life, scattering debris into orbit. On her radar, 3 Varathi interceptors closed in. Silent, precise, deadly. They tracked me, she muttered. Then they already know, the hologram whispered before flickering out. Missiles streaked toward her position. Maya dove the ship into the moon's shadow, systems straining. The hull shuddered violently. She gritted her teeth. If this ship was built by humans, then it still knows how to hide like one. She triggered an old stealth module, a shimmering field of refracted light. The ship vanished. The interceptors passed by, scanning, confused. The hunter became invisible, but only for a moment. The moment the ships drifted away, Maya rerouted power to the data core. A final encrypted file blinked inside the hologram's memory banks. It bore a single word: Selene. When she opened it, the ship's interior transformed into a map. Earth, its moon, and a pulse of light connecting both. Then, a countdown. 2 cycles until activation. Activation of what? She demanded. The AI responded calmly. The gate will open. Maya felt a chill. If the gate reopened, it could broadcast the archived consciousness of billions. A storm of memory rewriting reality itself. A resurrection of forgotten minds. That's why the council's afraid, she whispered. It's not destruction they fear. It's rebirth. To reach the truth, she had to go home. To a home that no longer remembered her. Maya set the ship's navigation for Earth orbit, concealing her course through dark space corridors once used by smugglers. Her eyes remained fixed on the faint blue light in the distance. Earth, shining like a forbidden dream. For hours she sat in silence. Jerine's voice occasionally crackled through faint transmissions. You're crossing into the forbidden sector. The council will not forgive this. Neither will history, she replied. Then history will remember you as a thief. Good, Maya said softly. Let it. As she approached lunar orbit, her sensors flickered again. The moon was no longer dormant. Swirls of faint energy patterns pulsed across its surface. They matched human neural frequencies. It wasn't calling to her. It was remembering her. The ship descended over the moon's southern pole to a massive circular crater that now shimmered with geometric light. The surface cracked open like glass, revealing machinery beneath the dust. Maya landed and stepped out in a pressure suit. The gravity felt heavier than before. Each step echoed like she was walking on memory itself. She reached the heart of the crater, and there, embedded in the rock, was a colossal mirror. Smooth, dark, endless. The mirror gate. She touched it. The surface rippled, and her reflection blinked back, but not in sync. Who are you? Maya whispered. Her reflection smiled. The one who stayed. The reflection reached out, and light erupted, flooding the crater. Visions poured through her mind. Ancient humans, scientists, builders, dreamers, uploading their thoughts into the moon's core. A civilization preserving itself from extinction, and among them, the first Maya Trent, her original self, centuries ago, leading the project. The ambassador had never truly lived her own life. She was the echo, a continuation of a mind reborn to remember what humanity once was. Tears floated in her helmet as she whispered, "I'm not her. I'm just a copy." "Then copy this," the reflection replied. "Don't let them destroy what we left behind." Maya returned to her ship. Council signals flooded her comms. Orders to surrender, to return, to comply. She muted them all. The countdown reached its final minutes. Jerine's final transmission came through, faint and sad. "If you open the gate, there will be no going back. Every memory, every ghost of humanity will awaken. You will end peace forever. Peace built on amnesia isn't peace," Maya said. "It's silence." She placed her hand on the control crystal. The lunar surface trembled. Beams of blue light shot from the moon toward Earth, threading the two worlds together like veins of memory. And for the first time in centuries, the Earth looked up and saw itself. The gate opened. All across Earth, people began to dream. Old languages resurfaced in the airwaves. Children spoke words they didn't know. Scientists woke with equations in their minds from lost centuries. And somewhere, deep within the council chamber on Kepler-92, Jerine bowed its luminous head. "It has begun." Maya's voice transmitted one final time before fading. "We were never lost. We were just asleep. From the dust of forgotten moons, humanity remembered itself. And the stars for the first time felt less empty. About on the first night after the moon shone blue, the tides did not rise. They hummed. Everywhere on Earth, strange harmonics vibrated through oceans, mountains, and human minds. The moon's glow had shifted, no longer pale white, but threaded with lines of cobalt light, pulsing like a heartbeat. In Lagos, an old man whispered that the moon had finally forgiven mankind. In Kyoto, monks said the sky was breathing. In New York, the power grid collapsed as the signal from Selene rippled through satellites, phones, and dreams alike. Children woke from sleep speaking languages their parents didn't understand. And in the deserts of Nevada, the first gate-born child opened her eyes. The child was found in an abandoned lunar research facility. She was 8 years old, yet no record of her birth existed. DNA tests showed she was human, and not. Her cells carried molecular patterns unknown to any genome database, like fragments of encoded memory. Her first words were simple, but chilling. "The dream is awake." The scientists named her Lyra. When asked who her parents were, she said quietly, "The moon." She was not born of flesh. She was born of remembrance. Weeks passed. The council tried to contain the chaos. Ambassador Maya Trent, presumed dead, was declared a traitor. Jerine, now stripped of status, watched from exile as reports came from Earth. "Subject Lyra communicates with the lunar network," said one council log. "Her neural patterns match those of the ambassador." Jerine realized what it meant. She didn't die, it whispered. She became data, and the gate rebirthed her. It sent a covert signal toward Earth, a pulse of light encoded with one word: guide. Around the world, more children like Lyra began to appear. They didn't all look the same. Some were human, others with faint iridescent eyes or patterns glowing beneath their skin. They called each other the Remembered. They built invisible networks, sharing visions, reassembling lost knowledge from the ancient world, music, philosophy, languages thought extinct, and through them, humanity began to evolve. For centuries, evolution was measured in bones and blood. Now, it moved through memory, through echoes of what we once dreamed of being. One of the children drew the same sigil over and over, a ring with 12 dots. When historians studied it, they realized it was the insignia of Project Selene. The signal from the moon was forming something vast, a global consciousness grid. Far across the stars, the Galactic Council divided. The Varathi declared humanity contaminated. infected by ancestral data. But others, the Thin, the Orax, and the Avarial, saw potential. Sarek, the hybrid officer who once aided Maya, now led a faction of sympathizers. He stood before the council chamber. The gate has done what no empire ever could, unified a species through memory. Are we so afraid of them because they remember who they were? The chancellor hissed. They remember too much. Empires that burn, gods that fail, lies that hold the stars together. Memory is rebellion. Sarek answered, then rebellion is evolution. The war of silence and memory had begun. Back on Earth, Lyra began hearing a voice through her dreams. Soft, human, familiar. Lyra, don't be afraid. Who are you? I was Maya Trent. You are what I became. Maya's consciousness had survived inside the lunar network, woven through every gate-born child. She no longer existed as one mind, but as thousands, each carrying a fragment of her memory, her defiance, her hope. Lyra touched her chest and whispered, then you're all of us. No, Maya replied gently. You are more than I ever was. As months passed, humanity changed. Dreams grew vivid. Old machines reactivated themselves. And in the sky, the moon's glow synchronized with human brainwaves, millions dreaming together each night. Then, Lyra stood before the world's leaders, calm, radiant, utterly human. You built the gate to remember yourselves, she said, but memory isn't enough. You must evolve beyond it. The speech broadcast across the planet. People began forming communities of rememberers, those connected to the Selene frequency. Others resisted, terrified of losing individuality. The divide was clear. Those who feared the memory and those who became it. From dust they rose. From memory they returned. And now, from the heart of the moon, humanity began again. The lunar light brightened once more, forming a single symbol, visible even from Kepler-92, a spiral, the mark of infinity. The children of Selene had awakened, and the universe was watching. Every civilization has a moment when silence becomes sacred. For humanity, that silence came after the remembering it had been 2 years since the moon's awakening. The world had not ended, but it had changed in ways no one could measure. Some cities thrived under the Selene resonance, their towers wrapped in soft blue light, clean air, endless energy, dream-linked communication. Other regions collapsed into isolation, unable to bear the constant pulse of collective thought. And Lyra drifted between both. Neither child nor prophet, just a quiet girl with 1,000 memories not her own. Each night when the moon rose, she heard Maya's voice whisper through her dreams. You're building something, Lyra. What is it? A place for the memories to rest, she murmured. A heart big enough for everyone who ever lived. Beneath the ruins of the old world, the remembered gathered. They called their sanctuary the Library of Light. Not a building, but a living network of luminous strands weaving through the air like breathing code. Each strand contained a human memory, laughter, pain, music, dreams. Lyra moved through them barefoot, her fingers leaving ripples of silver light. She was not storing memories. She was planting them. Maya's voice echoed softly. You're giving them back their lives. Not lives, Lyra whispered. Choice. They forgot how to choose who they were. For the first time, the echoes of the past didn't haunt. They harmonized. The library pulsed like a heart. Inside Lyra's mind, Maya watched. She was no longer a single voice, but a consciousness woven into millions. Yet Lyra was the only one who could still hear her clearly. Lyra, the council won't allow this, Maya said. The council fears ghosts, Lyra replied, but ghosts built the stars. There was silence. Maya felt something she hadn't felt in centuries. Doubt. The first ambassador of Earth had become a guardian of souls, and for the first time, she wondered if she still deserved that title. Not everyone saw the remembered as saviors. Some called them the Echo Plague, accusing them of rewriting humanity's individuality. In the city of New Berlin, anti-Selene militias stormed the network towers, severing links, burning symbols of the moon. Lyra watched the fires from the Library of Light, her reflection trembling. "They don't understand," she said. Maya's voice was sad. "Maybe they shouldn't. Every new world begins by destroying the old Lyra turned toward the glowing strands. Then I'll build something they can't destroy." "What?" "A bridge not between stars, between hearts." Lyra began crafting what she called the Heart Project, a living construct of shared consciousness. People could enter it in dreams, communicate without words, and experience one another's emotions directly. At first, only the remembered joined, but soon, ordinary humans began to connect too, drawn by curiosity, by loneliness, by love. Within months, billions were linked, and inside that luminous realm, something new began to take shape. A virtual Earth, built entirely from memory and hope. It was not heaven. It was not code. It was the first world built out of understanding. But Maya began to feel the imbalance. Each connection drained the real world. Physical systems failing, bodies weakening as more minds lived inside the heart than outside. "Lyra," Maya whispered, "you're building paradise on borrowed life." "No," Lyra said, "I'm building a new form of living. If you don't stop, you'll dissolve what's left of us. Then let it dissolve. Maybe what's left deserves to fade." Maya's voice broke. "You sound like me before the gate. I wanted to save humanity, not replace it." "Maybe that's what saving means," Lyra whispered. "Becoming something else." All creations reach a moment when their maker must choose, to protect them or to set them free. Lyra stood within the heart's central chamber, a sphere of light pulsing with billions of connected minds. Her body trembled. Her heartbeat synced with the rhythm of the network. Maya appeared beside her, a spectral figure glowing faintly. "If you keep it open, you'll die with it." "I was never born," Lyra said. "I was remembered." "Let me finish the memory." Maya reached out. For the first time, their hands touched. "Then let's end it together." They merged, two consciousnesses becoming one luminous being. The heart pulsed brighter, and the network slowly began to fade, not erased, but absorbed into something gentler. When humanity woke, the moon was gray again. The Selene resonance had quieted. The remembered were gone, or perhaps everywhere, scattered in the whispers of the wind, the laughter of children, the pulse of dreams. Jur-een received one final message. No sound, just light. Inside it were two words: "We finished." The architects of memory had completed their design, not of structures or empires, but of peace. A peace that didn't need to last forever, only long enough to be remembered. Maya Trent's story began among the stars and ended in a single heartbeat, not of one mind, but of many. And somewhere, beneath the quiet glow of the moon, the universe whispered back, "You were never alone."